Today's subject is going to be really very intensive, and we're going to talk about product research. But before we do product research, we're going to talk about budget expectations. What does it take to launch a product successfully on Amazon? That's going to include the cost of the product, the marketing, the shipping, and everything that we need to know if we're going to have a successful launch and how much you need to order. I think a lot of us, we just have this thing that says, hey, $3,000 to $5,000 is enough, but actually it's not. It could be, but you will be running out of stock. What are we trying to do? If we want to launch it the right way, and we want to make sure that we rank for the most keywords or almost all the keywords that we find as relevant, is going to take us more than just $3,000 to $5,000 to launch the product. You might need to order at least 3 times the amount that you expect to sell per month. So if we see sales velocity of, let's say 300, and we're anticipating to buy 300 units, most likely you're going to need at least 900 units to start. And that adds up very quickly depending on the cost of the product. So yesterday I was thinking about it the whole day. I was like, okay, should I start with you guys with product research right away without you knowing exactly what you're getting yourself into? It's not going to happen, because you can go ahead and find a product, really beautiful market, good demand, but cost you maybe $50 to source the product. This $50 is going to get you in so much trouble because you won't be able to have the funds or the cash to be able to support that product. So let's say if we have $50 a product times 300, that's $15,000 worth of product. Multiply that by 3, we're talking about $45,000 in investment. So you really need to be very careful of how to choose your product, what's the cost of the product, how long it's going to take to be shipped, and also you need to factor in the marketing, which is a lot of us, we just get the product in and then we say, marketing, we'll see what happens when we get there. You need to calculate PPC, and also you need to calculate the marketing like search, find, buy, and giveaways. So today I'm going to throw a lot of numbers at you, but before I started this session, Megan and I built an Excel sheet that hopefully you can put in your numbers, the cost of the product, and will give you exactly how much the total initial investment that you need. Now, do not be scared too much when I show you the numbers, but there's ways to be able to decrease that amount, and there's ways for you to a little bit have less investment than what you expect. So I want everyone to have your Red Bull, have your coffee, and let's go ahead and do it, guys. So guys, welcome back again to another video. And today's video, we're going to talk about budget, and we're going to talk about product research, which is module 2, which is going to be a product research is the key. At the same time, we're going to give you realistic budget expectations, which is we need to understand before we jump into product research, which is going to be everything that I'm going to share with you today. Mostly is going to be share screen and screen sharing, and hopefully that will really help you in your research and see how I think about things, which is, sometimes it's very easy to say step by step, but there's no 10 steps to make you rich. There's no, let me give you the 20 steps for you to become the new, I don't know, Jeff Bezos. There's not. There's a lot of things that you need to think about, and sometimes I will miss them if you don't look behind my shoulder and see how I do things. So I'm going to explain that to you as well. So let's get into right away today about realistic budget expectations. And I want you to understand the 33% rule of thumb. So 33% rule of thumb is very simple. If we are selling a product that generates around $30,000 a month in sales, so when I run my Helium 10, I run my Jungle Scout, and I see the results comes up and say this person making $30,000, what does that mean to us? That means $10,000 is going to be the cost of the product landed in Amazon. Landed in Amazon, that includes shipping, includes differentiation, includes packaging, insert, everything that include with the product is going to be around $10,000 if you source correctly. And this is the way I want you to source. Stay within these parameters are the best. So $10,000 is going to be the cost of product landed. $10,000 is going to be Amazon fees and commission. And you have to understand, a lot of people say, hey, $10,000 we're giving to Amazon. Yes, we're using their platform. They have the traffic. They have the audience, they have the buyers with their credit card in the platform. So for sure they need a commission, and usually their commission from 12% to 15%. There's some stuff that go for 8%, but usually commission as a commission itself is what they get in their pocket, because using the platform is going to be from 8% to 15%, but most of us are going to be from 12 to 15. And also don't forget pick and pack fees, which is the shipping, which is usually they use third-party shipping company like UPS or FedEx, or they use their own, which has a cost as well. So for me, I think it's very fair to give them the 10,000, which is 33% of your wholesale. The third thing is going to be $10,000, which is your profit margin. Now, when I say 10,000 profit margin, that doesn't mean that's what you're going to get in your pocket. This is only translates into the money that you have, $10,000 as a profit, but you will need to exclude or deduct your PPC, your marketing, anything that you do with the product that's going to cost you money for marketing, you will need to deduct it. Usually at the end of the day, you will be accumulating in your pocket around 20% to 25% net profit that you go away with, and you can go ahead and buy whatever you want to buy with. Or the best thing, instead of buying something, go ahead and launch a new product. So this is how it works as a 33% rule of thumb. And it's very important to explain right now because of what I'm going to share with you next. Now, let's talk about first order and launch, especially for if you find a product and would like to launch it. We need to understand how many units we need to order and why we should order that many, because there's so many moving parts going in the first order. You have the cost product, you have the demand of the product, you have the manufacturing lead time, you have the shipping time. These all things are going to affect how many units you should order. So let's say the demand. So let's say I looked at a product and I checked it, and I see this product makes around 10 units a day. If I have a product that sells for 10 units a day and we have 30 days in a month, that means 300 units I need to order per month to make sure that I am fulfilling those orders and fulfilling the demand that this market gives. So if we do 10 units by 30, as I said, it'll be 300 units. And this is the demand that you can see, or you can anticipate, or you can predict from using Helium 10, Jungle Scout, Fire Launch, whatever you use. By getting the main keyword, you will go ahead and run your ad, or run your app, your Chrome extension, and you're going to see roughly the best 10 or 15 sellers on the top. What's the average they're doing? Is it 300, 500? You will predict that. You will anticipate it. You will just have a rough idea. It's not going to be set in stone. It's going to be set in stone only when you start selling the product and you see exactly how many units you're going to sell. So if you predict that you're going to sell 10 units just by looking at Helium 10, you could sell more, or you could sell even less. So it all depends. But if we do the right thing, you should be there and even more. Now, also the second thing you need to, as I said, is going to be the cost of the product landed. So the cost of product landed, let's say $10 per unit, $10 per unit. This is basically the cost of product, as I said, including everything, shipping, including the packaging, including everything that comes with it, like bundling for differentiation, everything, $10. That will be around $10 times 300 units. That means around $3,000 investment so far. But we need to factor in manufacturing lead time and shipping. Now, manufacturing lead time, usually, depending on what kind of shipping you're going to use, if you're using air shipping, it could be around 10 to 15 days. If you're using sea shipping, it could be from 24 days to 35 days. But if we want to just have a rough idea, usually if you have air shipping, it's going to be 15 days. And if you want sea shipping, it's going to be roughly around 30 days. Now, as explained here, air shipping is going to be 15, and also sea shipping from 30 to 40 days. This is not including receiving the product and processing the product, which is usually in normal days, it takes 2 to 3 days or 5 days max, but now it gets longer. So for just to be in the safe side, if I usually use Fastboat is around 24 days. With Amazon processing everything is going to be around 30 to 35 days. I will have the product available in stock. Now, how many units do you need? So if I have 10 units a day, that's what I'm expecting, and I have manufacturing lead time and shipping time is around 30 each. We're just giving an average. If you're doing sea shipping and you're doing manufacturing, it takes 30 days, which is the average 30 days. You need to multiply the 10 units by 60 days, which is going to give you 600 units minimum that you need to order per month. So because if I have 600 units in my inventory, every time I reach 600, that means I have to reorder right away, because it takes me 60 days from manufacturing the product to receiving the product. That's 60 days. 60 days without supplies, which is almost 600 units. So every time I have 600 units, I have to place a new order. To be safe, usually you give an extra 1 month extra over that, which is going to bring you to 900 units per month. Now, therefore, you need to order every time your inventory level reaches 600, you need to order again. You need to place another order with your supplier. It gets very complicated, but I'm going to take a question later on. But I hope you can get it so far. Now, general rule, if you don't want to do those days and 30 days, manufacturing lead time, 30 days, shipping time, multiplied by how many units you sell per day to get the accurate number of units that you need before you place another order, I usually just take the number of sales that I have. Let's say I'm expecting 300 sales per month. I multiply that by 3 and gives me 900. Usually I do that. So for example, now if I'm placing a new order for a new product, a new brand, and they sell 500 units a month, that means I am expecting to order around 1,500 as my first order. I know it's a lot, but you need it because you don't want to run out of stock. Now, I recommend the first order to be 300 times 3, which is 900 as a first order, approximately a 3-month supply. This is recommended amount so you don't run out of stock, because I don't want to run out of stock. Now, it's not the end of the day if you run out of stock, but because later on I'm going to show you an Excel sheet, which is going to explain the marketing budget, which is going to be for PPC, and marketing budget also for your giveaways and ManyChat or search find buy method. You will spend money in the beginning and you don't want to run out of stock, because running out of stock, that means you need to do partial relaunch if you really were out of stock for a long time, or you need to make a full relaunch, which is, we don't want that to happen because everything costs money. So now, since that's why I order a lot, you need to make sure to have a successful business, or you have enough turnover, or have enough money or return on your money, you need to flip products or orders. You need to place orders from 3 to 4 times a year to make sure that you have a great turnover. So for example, I need per year, I need at least to order from my manufacturer 3 times to 4 times to make sure that I am safe. So if you do that, like 1 order every 3 months, that means you're getting 4 orders a year. And that's what's called turnover. You want to make sure that your stock and the money that you pay for stock lasts you for 3 months, and you keep turning this over and over and over without having, hey, let's say I ordered 1 year worth of orders, and they're all of a sudden sitting in the warehouse and money just tied up. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that your cash flow is just going over and over and just spending, making sure that you're just turning over your money and doubling your money slowly until you make it good. You don't want products sitting in a warehouse collecting dust just because, hey, I bought 1 year full of products, 1 year full of inventory. You don't want to do that. I think 3 to 4 months max is a good amount of orders or units or product inventory that you need. Now, so let's say if I order 3 times the amount that I'm going to sell per month times $10, that's going to give me $9,000 cost of product only for first order. So you see how that can rack up very easily. I can go ahead and tell you, hey, let's do $3,000 and you'll be fine. But no, actually the amount of units that you can order is way more. And that's going to translate in a bigger amount of money and spending. But there is ways of cutting this down by cutting your manufacturing lead time, by cutting maybe your shipping a bit. And we will talk about that hopefully later on in the course. But this is what you need to make sure that you're really running a successful or having enough units to run your marketing and ranking for every keyword that you need. Now let's talk about marketing, which is going to be divided in 2. giveaways, which is I'm going to give the product for free, okay? And I am just going to refund people later on. So I will sell the product for full price, they'll buy it, but then in the back end, I'm refunding them the money. So that's a cost, because it's gonna cost you the cost of the product plus the Amazon fees, because these are gonna lose them. So let's say I'm doing 30 bucks my product, I am giving it away, and I might give 5 to 10 units a day. I'm giving 1 unit for every person. I'm giving a product that costs 30 bucks. Basically, $10 is gonna be a cost of product, 10 bucks is going to be the Amazon fees, which is he going to lose, and 10 bucks is going to get back to you as a profit, which is you just paid yourself back. All right, so that's giveaways, which is, it could be in 2 forms, which is we're going to discuss some websites that we can put our product and start promoting it, and and basically just going ahead and refunding them through that website. And also the other way with ManyChat, search, find, buy, and we're going to do the same process. So that's one marketing strategy. And the second marketing strategy with it is going to be PPC, which is going to spend money to be able to rank for the keywords. Now, keep in mind, in the first 1 to 3 months, depending on the competition and the demand of the product, you possibly will only break even. Usually the first month is the most consuming, is the first month, which is usually going to spend the most money on your product, on your PPC, on your marketing, because you're nowhere to be found. You don't have enough ranking, you don't have enough reviews to convert very well. So usually the first month is going to be the month that you're going to spend the most. But later on, the second month is going to get better, third month is going to get better, and it's going to get better as you go. Remember, I always talk about, if we have, this is a line, we have a line, and we're starting our product is going to be down because we're going to be spending money, we're going to lose money. Once we start getting ranking, getting reviews, it start going better and better and better until we start crossing the line and become in the profit zone. This is the profit zone. This is where you guys start making money. So you're going to go up, then you're going to start plateauing to where you want to be at, and that's it, you're done. But you will be losing money in the beginning before you get over that curve. So it's going to be curved down, and then you go up. That's how it's going to work. So that's why a lot of people freak out in the beginning. They shut down their PPC, they shut down their marketing, it's too much, and they freeze. But now I'm telling you right now, if you want to do it correctly and rank for the most keywords, you will need to spend money on marketing. So let's assume, or let's not assume, actually, this is the things that how you're going to look at giveaways and marketing cost. Usually what I see from my experience for the markets that I recommend to launch in, usually I always like to run a market or giveaways for at least, or ranking campaigns for 20 days minimum. I don't like to do the 7 days. I don't like to do 10 days, not 14 days. I think 20 days, it's really good number for you to stabilize in the ranking. So that's why you see a lot of people, they go ahead and they start giveaways and they run it only for 7 days. And it's like, oh my God, I'm ranking very well. And all of a sudden, boom, they drop. There's 2 ways of that. Because of the short period of time that they were giving units. So giving only for 7 days. So the average history is only 7 days. Amazon is like, hey, only they were for 7 days, didn't fall off. What's going on? So they drop them because they cannot hold themselves organically. And the second reason, that when they target the keywords, they target keywords that are very, very broad or very short-tail keyword that actually everyone's competing on. And what happens, they cannot stand or they cannot hold themselves in that position. So what I'm going to teach you is basically how to run with PPC and get the data to be able to rank for the most related keyword to your product, and we'll make sure that you're sticking there. So by having, by choosing the right keywords combined with the amount of days you're going to give away, you're going to average out a good average of Amazon saying, hey, this guy is giving 5 units a day through that keyword and this keyword that he's really consistent with it. So let's give him that position because he's outselling the other people. So you're going to see that you're going to stick to that position way, way, way for longer time. And you're going to see yourself, you're doing very well. So if we give 10 units a day for 20 days, that means we need 200 units set aside for our giveaways. So you need to keep that in mind. Now that could be less, could be 5. I see a lot of times that we do 5 and 6 units a day. But just to be in the safe side, let's say 10 units a day for the most of the keywords. I see 10 units, but usually we cut out around 4, 7, but let's be safe and count for 10. Now, so let's say you have 200 units that we want to give away, which is cost us $10. That means we are going to spend around $2,000 for that launch or per month. Now, usually the first month you're going to run it, but if you fall off or you did something wrong or you attacked the wrong keyword, you might need to replicate that again in the second month and the third month until you stick to those keywords. That's really rare. Or if you really chose a bad keyword, which is hopefully you're not going to be able to, choose a bad keyword. I'm going to show you how to choose the best keywords, but usually it's going to be $2,000. And maybe next month is going to be maybe $600 or $500 just because you're trying to rank for other keywords that's related, but with low search volume, or you're just trying to have a maintenance campaign. Giveaway is basically I have a keyword that I'm always just moving up from the second position to the fifth, second, fifth. So I want to solidify that. So I can just give 2 units at a time just to make sure I solidify that, because instead of using PPC, which costs me too much with ACOS, let's say, so I can have a maintenance campaign if I wanted to. This is another subject if you really chose a bad product and high competition, all this stuff. So now we have 200 units we're giving for 20 days. That's a total. It's going to cost us $2,000. The other thing you need to keep in mind, that's only the $10, which is the cost of the product. What about the Amazon fees that we're going to lose, which is with the rule of 33% rule of thumb that I just showed you, that means another $10 that you're not going to get back. Because if someone buys the product for $30, as I said, the Amazon fees and the cost of product, you're not going to get back. Only what you're going to get back is the profit when you pay them back. So basically another $2,000 you're going to basically give to Amazon to rank, and that's going to cost you $2,000, which is total. It's going to be $4,000. $2,000 the cost of product, $2,000 Amazon fees and commission, which is going to lose with the giveaways, which is going to be around $4,000 only in giveaways for a product that costs $10. Now, therefore, cost per giveaway would be around $4K. Now, this is, as I said, I'm being very aggressive, but if you want something, it could be less. You could elongate it for a longer period of time. There's ways that instead of really attacking the keywords in the beginning, very aggressively, we can target the lower end keywords slowly. So instead of ordering 3 times the amount that I need per month, I can target the low end keywords slowly, and I'll be able to manage my expectation, manage my sales velocity, and later on I'll be able to increase it. But from my experience, stop doing cute stuff and do the right thing is much better than, hey, I want to slow it. I don't want to make too much sales. We're here to make money. So if you were able to rank for those keywords, I'm not gonna say, oh, no, I don't want to rank for it because I really want to do low because I don't have enough budget. That means you chose the wrong product at the wrong price point, which is not going to match your own budget or expectations. So you choose something, a product that matches your budget, and do not just go too much away from it. Now, let's talk about marketing cost, especially for PPC. Now, PPC spending, it will depend, but we can say safely is going to be around 10 to 15% of the inventory of total cost. So the total cost of inventory, we're going to spend around 10 to 15% of that into our PPC spending or PPC marketing cost. Usually I can say 10%, but I'm putting 15 just to be in the higher end. So everything that I'm showing you right now, guys, is very aggressive, really aggressive. It's something that, hey, if everything goes wrong and you have that budget, you'll be able to make it well. But as I said, this is only a rough line, but you can go up and down. I mean, usually down, not up that much, really not much. Now for PPC, I always told you guys when we started, I think last week we talked about it. And I said, if our profit margin is 33%, or let's make it easier for 35%, I'm expecting out of this 35%, 10% is going to be in the cost of PPC all the time. So 10% is going to be cost of PPC, which is going to stick with you for forever, for most of the time, but for sure will get lower if you start ranking for more keywords. But usually roughly, just to be in your head, 10%, and the 20 to 25% is going to be in your pocket. Now, it's hard to know 100%, but this is a rough estimate, as I said. I want to show you how we can calculate that into a real Excel sheet. So you're still with me? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna take another sip of Red Bull so we can all talk and discuss. So let's say the cost of product that I have is $10. Okay. Let me just put your faces here. All right. So we have $10 cost of product. Let's say we're going to sell around 300 units a month. Okay. That's only an estimate. If I have 300 units, I'm expecting, as I said, as a first order, I would like to have 3 times that amount. So I can do this equal this times 3. That'll be 900 units. You agree? Now, the cost of total inventory is going to be 900 times $10, which is going to be $9,000. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I am correct here with you. I know, make sure the math is correct. Okay, so we have 900. Now for marketing, for giveaways, we said we're going to give basically $10 plus another $10 for Amazon fees. That means 20. So that will be 200 units times 20. So that will be this one times this one times 2, then times 200. Or usually, because we're gonna have $10 plus $10, that'll be 20, so $20, right? That's where we need to be. So it's gonna be around $4,000 times 200 units. So basically, here, if I wanted to make it easier, was gonna be Amazon fees, $10, plus another $10, okay, times 200, which is amount of giveaways we're gonna give, 200 units. So that will be 4,000. So you saw the math? That's what I'm trying to achieve here. So we're gonna be this times 2, okay, times 2 times 200, which is the amount we need. That will be $4,000. Now, once we do the $4,000, we have to calculate the marketing for PPC. PPC, I'm putting 33% of the initial investment. Okay, so if I do this plus is going to be this multiply by 0.333. That'll be 2,997. All right. Now, once I do that, I need to calculate now. I think I did it right. Yes, right. Okay, now I need basically total inventory cost plus marketing. So how much is going to cost me overall? So it's going to be this plus this plus this. So this going to be, I'm just don't confuse myself either. Too much numbers and I don't want to mess them up. So it's going to be this plus this plus this. It'll give me $15,997 if you're trying to sell a product that at $10 has 300 sales per month and you will need to order 900 units. So this is going to be able to cost you $15,997 for 3 months of supplies, marketing, which is PPC and giveaways. Now, let's say make the example a little bit more. And let's say we have here, let's say another $10. Let's say this is going to be 500. Let's say here we have $15. Then we have another 15. No, another $15. Then we're going to do $20. So I just want to show you how it will add up very quickly. And let's do 300, 500, 300, 500. Then I'm gonna come here, drop the cost here, drop the cost, here, drop the cost, here, drop the cost, and here, drop the costs. So now you see what God gave you and what God's gonna take from you, okay? So this is basically for a $10 product, for $300 per month, you need to spend that much, or need to expect to be paying that much. So I'm going to do the 10 plus this here, different color. Let's say this one plus this one is going to be a little bit darker, and this one is going to be a little bit darker. So now this is the kind of math that you need to make sure that you really have a successful launch, a successful product, and God bless every one of us. So guys, I'm gonna stop this and I'm gonna give you the sheet. So the sheet, every time you're going to enter a number of a product, the cost of product with the amount of sales is gonna give you, it's gonna shoot up all this stuff for you. So you will know exactly how much or roughly you need. Now, when we talk about the 3 times here, where the game is going to be changing a lot, is if I come here and change this one to, let's say 500, you're gonna see your amount is gonna go way lower. And how we can achieve this nice numbers, I'm gonna give you a golden nuggets. And the golden nuggets is going to be, what are we gonna do to be able to cut the shipping time? And that's a golden nuggets we're gonna achieve here. Usually when I order, if I know something that I'm gonna order, let's say 1,500, or let's say 3,000, 2,000 units, let's say 2,000 units, just for easier math. Let's say I'm gonna order 2,000 units and that's what I need. What I'm gonna make a deal with my supplier. I get them, hey, listen, I will pay you for the 1,000 right now. Let's say I'm gonna pay 30% right now, 70% after we're done, after manufacturer is done. You'll ship me the product right away. But for the second 1,000, manufacture them at the same time, but I'm gonna pay you only 10% to 20% of the value. So now, if I want to place a second order, already I have the 1,000, they're gonna have it in their warehouse, already manufactures, and I'm gonna cut the 60 days, which is shipping time plus manufacturing time, to 30 days only. And that's gonna bring the cost down for me a lot. So that's why the numbers that you're gonna see in the cost for manufacturing, which is 3 times, it could be 2 times, it could be 1.5 times, and it's gonna make the initial investment way lower than what you expect. That's the tip, which is really gonna help you a lot. And also the other thing which is gonna lower your cost is basically by doing giveaways. Instead of giving 10 units a day, we're going to do 5 units a day, because I'm going to teach you how to be able to use search, find, buy, plus using a super URL, which is going to be way more effective than just doing a regular giveaways that, hey, give away through that keyword and that's it. So by using the right link, right super URL, plus letting people find this product, search it, find it in what page, and translate it to a sale, is going to reduce the amount of units that you give per day from 10 to 3 to 5. So that's gonna decrease it as well. But I'm just telling you right now, if you really want to take that business seriously and you want to make the big bucks and you want to have the right mental, because a lot of us break when it comes to marketing. We break down when we launch the product because we don't know what to anticipate. Now you have a good picture of what you need and how much cash you need on the side.